To win in a world built on illusion, distraction, and deception, one must undergo the most painful transformation known to man: betrayal of the self. Niccolò Machiavelli, often misunderstood as merely a teacher of manipulation, was in fact a cold realist who understood a truth too brutal for most to accept: that greatness and power come not by embracing your identity, but by destroying it. What does it mean to betray yourself? It is not about self-hatred. It is about self-reinvention. It is about identifying the weakness in your current identity, your comfort, your excuses, your clinging to morality, softness, or outdated pride, and casting it into the fire. It is a violent divorce from the person you think you are, so you can become who the world must respect. Let us journey into the depths of this transformation through the sharp eyes of Machiavelli. His teachings do not merely apply to kings or politicians. They apply to the man who refuses to be forgotten. Machiavelli lived in a time where mercy was often a death sentence, where idealism was crushed under the boots of tyrants, and where those who clung to principles without the spine to defend them were erased from history. He saw clearly: to rule, to lead, to rise, you must sacrifice something more sacred than the enemy. You must sacrifice your weaker self. The man who wins is not the man who waits for justice, for opportunity, or for fate. He is the man who reinvents himself, who becomes unrecognizable to his past. You must betray your comfort, your conditioning, and even your identity. There is a version of you that is liked, understood, socially accepted, and comfortably unthreatening. That version of you is useless. That version of you is standing between you and the life you claim to desire. That version of you must be betrayed. Niccolò wrote, "A wise ruler cannot, and must not, keep his word when such fidelity is to his disadvantage." Let us apply this principle not just to others, but to ourselves. Keep your word to your principles, your self-image, your old habits, when it serves your higher mission. But the moment your allegiance to the man you are prevents you from becoming the man you must be, you must violate it. Without apology, you owe the old you nothing. The man who is too afraid to speak, too polite to stand, too wounded to fight, too agreeable to be respected. You do not owe that man your loyalty. You owe him your betrayal. To betray yourself is to create space for rebirth. You must become your own executioner, severing the patterns, beliefs, and behaviors that keep you small. This is not poetic. This is tactical. This is war against the inner weakness that keeps you loyal to mediocrity. You must betray your need to be liked. The greatest men in history were not loved in their time. They were feared. They were envied. They were misunderstood. Your addiction to being accepted is the anchor dragging your potential to the bottom of obscurity. You must betray your desire for peace. Peace is a reward, not a starting point. A man who seeks peace without first conquering himself and the world is a coward. He mistakes absence of conflict for strength. Machiavelli taught us, it is better to be feared than loved. Not because fear is inherently good, but because love, when unearned, breeds weakness. Your peace must be earned through war. War against your inner laziness, your external circumstances, and the lies you tell yourself to avoid responsibility. Betray the belief that peace is given. It is taken by those who dare to suffer for it. You must betray your morality, not in the sense of becoming evil, but in the sense of transcending childish notions of right and wrong when they are weaponized against your purpose. The world does not reward the most righteous. It rewards the most effective. If your code of ethics prevents you from protecting your family, your dream, your sovereignty, then your morality is no longer virtue. It is vanity. Betray your perfectionism. The need to be flawless is the most seductive form of paralysis. It feels noble, but it is cowardice dressed in armor. You must betray the fear of being seen as imperfect. Publish, speak, act, lead, even when you are broken, even when you are unfinished. The world respects boldness, not perfection. Betray your fear of rejection. Rejection is not failure. It is filtering. Every no you receive is proof that you are stepping into territory where few dare to tread. Every rejection is a small death of the old self who played safe. Let it die. Machiavelli did not warn princes to be loved. He warned them to be strong. Your need for universal acceptance is the leash that tames you. Betray your past. Whatever stories you've clung to about being the victim, the loser, the forgotten, the betrayed, those stories are prisons. The longer you dwell in them, the more they become your identity. You were not born to repeat a story. You were born to rewrite it. Rip out the pages and set them on fire. Betray your ego, that fragile voice that says, I already know, I've already tried, that's not who I am. That voice is not your ally. It is your enemy in disguise. It speaks not from wisdom, but from fear. The moment you think you've arrived is the moment you begin to rot. Betray that comfort. Embrace growth. Become unrecognizable to yourself. To betray yourself is to choose reinvention over nostalgia. It is to stop protecting your current identity and start building the future version of you that demands respect. People will not understand. They will call you cold, selfish, arrogant. Let them. Machiavelli was banished, hated, feared, and yet, his name lives on centuries later because he dared to speak what others only whispered. You must become dangerous, not to harm others, but to protect what matters. You must betray the lie that softness is strength, that being nice will open doors, that staying the same will get you new results. Niceness without strength is manipulation. Kindness without courage is submission. Betray the illusions. What does betrayal look like in action? It looks like walking away from comfort, saying no to people who do not align with your mission, shutting the door on habits, places, even relationships that no longer serve you. It looks like silence when the old you would argue. It looks like boldness when the old you would shrink. It looks like power. It is power. Machiavelli did not preach betrayal as cruelty. He saw betrayal as a necessary tactic in the pursuit of greatness. Just as a snake sheds its skin, the man who evolves must shed his past self. It is not a betrayal out of hatred. It is a betrayal fueled by vision. And the world will test you. It will beg you to stay the same. It will seduce you back into safety. But you must betray their expectations. You must choose greatness over comfort. You must become the traitor to your former self, so you can become the architect of your empire. The man who cannot betray himself cannot lead others. He is a prisoner of his own habits. A king who cannot control his own court is no king at all. Machiavelli understood this. Power begins within. If you cannot dominate your impulses, your fears, your ego, you will never dominate your environment. Do you want to win? Then betray your laziness. Betray your softness. Betray your desperation to be seen as good. Become effective. Become powerful. And only then, once you have scorched the land of your old self, will you be ready to build. This is your call to betrayal, not of others, but of the illusion you've protected, the man you were, the identity that got you here. Set it all on fire. Betray yourself, then rise from the ashes. This is the Machiavelli Guide. This is your transformation.